All right, here's my first set of the season. I watched that video from Montana Wolf Trapper. He's been putting in those post hole sets. So what this is I found this existing hole. I just dug it down quite a bit more. There's a trail on the high side on both sides of this, and then there's a faint trail. You can't really see it, but it runs through the bottom of this is like an old canal. I have two traps here. Hopefully they're far enough apart that if I catch one, I'm not going to catch him in both. But I've got one up on this that's coming off of this trail, and then I have another one right here. It's a lot closer. So I'm thinking if they're coming down this trail this way, they'll either smell it, do whatever, and then they'll walk right up that trail. Or if they come in, from this side, they'll get that or that. I was trying to make fish oil. It just ended up not panning out the way I liked it. So what I did was I took that entire 1 gallon jar of it was just rotted down fish goo at this point, and dumped it in the hole. There's not any exposed bait in this because it's just mostly all liquid. Any of the solids were inside the liquid, and that'll absorb down in the ground. I dug some stuff out of the bottom and just sprinkled it over the top, and it looks just like a wet dirt hole or a wet hole, but it stinks something fierce. So we'll get down, and I've got just one more set I want to put in, and yeah. So here's to the beginning of trapping season 2023-2024. So wish me luck. All right, well, here's set number 2. Just your basic dirt hole set, but there's 2 trails. So there's a trail that comes off. This one goes way out in the desert, and then this one follows this old canal that I'm in. So the 2 trails converge right here, and I put a little bit of a this is just where like the cows and stuff dig up. I think there's like a salt lick or something here, probably where the cows used to. I don't know if there's cows in here or not. But just a basic dirt hole set. That pile of turd was over here, and so I picked it up and I put a little bit of fox gland on the turd itself. I got a little bit of Trapper J's All Predator on the back of the hole. In the hole is Trapper J's All Predator bait, and then I put a little bit of Hellfire on this stick up high. So the wind is blowing this direction, so that trail's right there. And what I'm hoping is they'll see that, they'll come in and they'll see that big dirt hole, and they'll come in to investigate. The trap's bedded just a little further out because I did put that dirt hole up so high, but it's about right there. So yeah, on to the next location. I got a little bit of a ride in the razor, and I'll see you guys at the next set. All right, well, here's my 4th set. This one's on a pretty decent location. So I've got a really fairly super used trail going that way. One here, and there's one here. I walked in on this trail here, and fresh coyote droppings everywhere. So it goes down and goes through this old gate. There's a bunch of these old gates out in the desert, but it's just an old canal that they don't use anymore. So I've got Trapper J's All Predator bait in the hole, and then I put some of my beaver tail oil that I've been making in the hole, and just a little bit of red fox gland up on that stick right there. So hopefully we'll come back and there'll be a coyote in this. I'm definitely gonna set one though on this trail that I walked in on. It's super pounded down, and there's a bunch of tracks too, so I'm gonna put a trail set in up here. So I'll see you guys at that one. All right, well, I made a pea post set. I put a lot of urine on that corner, that little tuft of grass. And then I bedded my trap right there. This one's it's next to another one of these old concrete gates. This one's fairly, I guess it's a good distance from the last one. But I'm gonna have 3 sets along this. This has got a big trail and stuff that comes out. So you can see that big trail. I'm gonna put 2 trail sets along that, and I'll get to those. But I did end up, like I said, I did like the way that spot looked in that little tuft of grass. So I put a P-post set in there. The urine is mine. I've had lots of times when I've went out hunting or whatever, I've been in a spot where I've urinated and then come back a day or 2 later, go hunting again in that same location, and a coyote had walked by. You could see tracks in the snow, and then he peed right over my pee. So not saying this is gonna work, but I've always kind of been curious about it, and so I wanted to try it. And yeah, so we'll see what we can get on this set. But let's go put those trail sets in. All right, well, here's my next set. This is that trail set I was talking about. This trail's been worn down really heavy by the coyotes, or by the cows. And I've seen a few dry coyote tracks in some of this powdery dirt. So it just runs over in that other spot that I have that post sets right there. So trap sitting right there. I set it next to this little bush because it causes them to kind of step to the side. And so being that this trail was so large, I was able to offset that trap just a little bit this way, and it kind of narrows them down, but it's all natural. I didn't have to do anything other than move my trap set over. So we'll see. My next one, I already dropped my trap off, but it's sitting right there in the middle of the trail. So we're gonna go get that one set, and I'll see you guys in a second. All right, well, I got this other trail set in. I put just a little bit of beaver tail oil right here on the side of this, but the trap is right there. You look at how this trail's set up. That's the view from the coyote angle, from roughly about where the coyote's head is going to be. So as he's coming in, he's going to veer off of that bush and step more to this side. So I did offset my trap more closer to that side. And then I gave him a little bit of scent just to entice him and maybe try to get him to hang out there for a second longer. Let that trap go off on him. But man, I'm so happy I'm being able to set traps. So we'll get these, get my stuff back to the razor, and I'll see you guys at the next one. All right, well, I put another walkthrough set in here, sitting in between these rocks. I couldn't get an anchor, a ground anchor in, and I think it's because there's a bunch of this big lava rock in the way, so I couldn't get a dirt anchor in. So what I did was I put one of my drags down. So there's about a 6-foot section of cable, and then it goes to 2 foot of chain, and then I wrap that drag around that bush. Coyote when he comes down probably rip that bush right out of the ground, but he's gonna probably head that way or even that way, and there's just a ton of stuff he's gonna get hung up on, so I'm not overly worried about that. This is a really good spot. I don't know if you can tell, there's coyote tracks here. This is a badger track. You can tell by the longer fingers. And there's just tons and tons and tons of coyote tracks on this trail. So, yeah, there's my set. So we'll go to the next one. I got 2 other sets I already planned out, and we're gonna put them in. Like I said, that cable, he's never gonna notice that cable or even that chain. Like, there's tons of that kind of stuff out here. That's a cattle back scratcher thing that they put out. There's just chunks of metal and stuff all over the roads, all over out here, so he's not going to worry about that one bit. So anyways, I'll get these, we'll get over that next set and get them put in. I got a dirt hole and another one of these walkthrough sets. These walkthrough sets are just going to be, I think they're just going to be dynamite. They're definitely something that I could see, you know, catching quite a bit of fur. But anyways, so we'll get moved down, and I'll show you my next ones. All right, well, I got this walkthrough done. I don't know if you can see. So this right here is Badger, right here. And there's some coyote tracks too. There's a coyote track right there. There's one right here. I stepped on it. One right there. You can see these better in the camera. But so there's this stick, this patch of sage here. Should keep the coyote to that side of the trail. So I did set my trap. My trap's right there. Put just a little bit of guiding, not a whole lot. You don't need a whole lot. I did lose a ground anchor. Setting it in, went to go, this is why you always set your traps. Because had I not pulled on that to set that earth anchor, and I caught something in that, I'd have lost that. Got a lot of rocks out here, so anyways, but we're gonna go get a dirt hole put in just right there. So I'll see you guys when I get over there and get that set finished. All right, I'll get my dirt hole put in. I got all Trapper J's all predator bait and stinky beaver in the hole, and then I put a little bit of my my beaver tail oil on the back. It's just straight beaver tail oil, doesn't have any additives, nothing like that. So, and then my pan is set back just a little bit. Hopefully, yeah. So we'll go ahead and get on to the next set. That leaves 3 sets in this location. I got the one with the drag over there, that walkthrough, and then a baited set. So hopefully we'll come back on Monday and be able to connect on a few coyotes. But probably going to be raining on me here soon. Anyways, I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, got another walkthrough in. These walkthroughs are pretty good. It doesn't require a lot of bait. Doesn't require any lure. You just put them in the trail and in a spot you think coyotes are coming through or whatever. And yeah, I can tell you cows aren't on this trail at all because it's not all powdery. I don't think there's any cows in this section I'm in right now. So I did see one little coyote track, but I stepped on it, so can't really show you that one. Yeah, just same old, man. It's pretty easy. I'll catch you at the next one. All right, well, when I got here, I walked over this little hump, and there was fresh fox poop, and then coming up here, and there's just tons of coyote poop. So I put in a dirt hole over here. And I forgot my bait, so I put in some Trapper J's All Predator lure, and I put some of my beaver tail oil on the back, and then I took that clump of the fox poop that was over there and put it next to right here, and poured a little bit of fox gland on top of it. So I couldn't get an earth anchor in here, too many rocks, so I ran a cable to my drag, and my drag's inside that bush. So it's not gonna hold forever. It probably won't hold for very long either anyways, but he'll get hung up somehow, or a little further down. But anyways, I got one more set I'm gonna put in over here. I got a trail set I want to put in, so I'll get over and get that one in, and I'll show you guys when I'm done with that. All right, well, here's my walkthrough. The trail was a little wide in this area to be able to put one, and the trail splits and then comes down and then comes back together right here, and so I wanted to put one. I got able to where the trail got a little narrower, and then there was a fresh pile of fox poo or coyote poo, whatever, right there. So I moved it over and put it next to it. So hopefully we'll connect on a dog on this one. But I'll see you guys at the next one. All right, well, got another set in. This is just your standard everyday dirt hole. I drilled the hole straight down, and then I cut out the bottom of it so that I could make it a little level, because it's actually on a hill that goes kind of like this, just off of a trail. I couldn't figure out a spot to put a good walkthrough in this. This looks like a really spot for a walkthrough, but I just couldn't figure out a good spot to narrow it down enough. So figured put a dirt hole in with some good smelly stuff on it, and hopefully we'll connect. So I'll see you guys at the next one. Well, I'm dirty. I think I got 15 traps out. I just lost kind of some of the spots I was looking at and trying to get to. Had too many cows. I don't really want to fight with the cows and stuff, and trying to set some of my sets. So I just got away from setting in the areas where they were. There are a bunch of areas that I was in that didn't have cows, so I didn't have to worry about it. But a few of my spots weren't very good spots for footholds. They had been great locations for snares and stuff like that, but I had a coyote a couple weeks ago, and a buddy of mine caught it, and it had killed one of his elk. He has captive elk, and so and it ended up going bad on me. I didn't get to keep it because it just spoiled so fast. So I don't want to run any snares until it starts to cool down a little bit more. Today the high was only like 50 something. So I mean it's cooling down, and if you look behind me, the rain clouds and stuff like that, it's gonna rain tomorrow. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, but I don't know what time. I gotta look at it, but it's definitely supposed to rain today and tomorrow. So we'll see how those sets do. Hopefully we connect with a couple coyotes. If we don't, we don't. You know, it's the name of the game. But yeah, so anyways, thank you guys for coming with me on my adventure. I greatly appreciate it. This is the first video of 2023-2024 trapping season. If you guys made it this far, please consider subscribing. I would greatly appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Peace out.